How do you take an idea that you might have today and use it to make an impact on the world? Seems to be the question of the century. Well, here we are in Cairo, Egypt, a place that's had an impact on the world for over 4,000 years. And as I stand here today, I can't help but wonder, what was it like 4,000 years ago? Were there merchants haggling in the streets, yelling out their latest deals? Construction workers shaping up limestones? Philosophers talking about concepts that would change the way that we see things today? Or maybe, just maybe, there was someone somewhere out there with an idea so crazy that no one was going to believe him. Because that's how all great innovations start, don't they? With a ripple, a whisper, an idea so minuscule that in the moment it doesn't even matter. An idea so small that it seems insignificant until it isn't. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a second and just imagine that amongst the hagglers haggling and the philosophers being philosophical, in front of the construction workers in the dust stands an architect. And he says, "Guys, I have an idea. To honor our pharaoh, we should build something that touches the sky." And they all probably laughed at him, right? Like, hold on, one second. You want to take these limestones, millions of them, and stack them up how high? Yeah, right, buddy. Good luck with that. Let me know how it goes. Yeah, here we are, thousands of years later, talking about the pyramids, wondering how they were even made. An echo that lasted throughout time and history. And that's what I want to talk about today. Not the pyramids, although whoever came up with it, great idea. But how to take that little idea, that little whisper that you might have, and turn it into an echo. Because one of you watching, one of you listening, could already have an idea that is going to change the world. You just don't know it yet. So how do you find out? Well, I'm going to tell you three things. Three things that if you get right, you can turn your echo as big as you want. And those three things are time, people, and execution. Let me tell you what I mean. As an investor, every year, I invest in and grow multiple companies. But in 2022, I wanted to focus on one idea that I could focus on where I can focus my efforts, my capital, and my resources. So I started looking around. I started reading pitch decks. I went to different conferences until I was finally at one called The Vault in Florida, Miami. There were thousands of entrepreneurs there, many of which I spoke to. And some of them had good ideas, but just wasn't hitting right. So I decided to do something that I did with all the other conferences and go home. And on my way back to the airport, I hit a wall. Turns out, because I was rushing to get back home, instead of booking the ticket for the day that I should be flying out, I booked it for next week. So I ran to the airport kiosk and I said, "How do we fix this? How fast can I get back to Toronto?" And they said, "Well, there is a flight, but there's a small layover in Charlotte, North Carolina." I said, "I'll take it." And as I was going through security, I got a tap on my shoulder. How was the conference? The conference? Oh, shoot. I still had the bag with a logo on it. It was a gentleman by the name of Nate Salmon. He introduced himself and he told me that he was there because he had an insurance company and he was looking to hire somebody with an entrepreneurial mind, hire a few people to help run his company. I said, that's cool. And as he finished talking, I said, Nate, I'd love to talk more, but it was nice meeting you. I got to go catch the flight. I don't want to miss another one. And this time I'm going to Charlotte. He said, hey, I live in Charlotte. I'm going to Charlotte too. We're probably on the same plane. And surely enough, we were. As we were walking to the gate, Nate asked me my story. Why was I there? I said, dude, I wanted to invest in something that could actually make a difference, but everybody just like nothing makes sense. He said, hold on a second. You want to invest in a tech solution that's actually going to make an impact on an industry and solve a real problem? I said, yeah, of course. He said, Safir, can I show you something? And as we got to the gate, he pulled out an iPad. This guy had drawings, notes, blueprints, a very well thought out idea that none of the entrepreneurs that I met had. He was ready. And he did it so well that I texted my business partner right away. I said, I don't know if this idea is going to pan out because I need more information, but this is the type of guy that I want to work with. And work with him I did. We created a solution, an app that today stands as a leader in the market for final expense insurance sales. Not only that, but it is the go-to for every single door knocking and field sales agent, no matter what industry they're in. Nate changed a vertical because he had the three things: the right time, the right people, and the right execution. So how did he do it? Well, for the right time, you can say he got lucky, right? He got lucky that I misbooked my flight. He got lucky that I was in that security line. He got lucky that I was going to Charlotte, North Carolina before going home. And sure, luck might have had something to do with it, but not too much. Because you see, Nate wasn't the only entrepreneur that pitched to me. And I wasn't the only investor that Nate pitched to. Nate had been talking about this idea with different people, perfecting it. And that's why he was prepared. He didn't wait for the right time, just like all the guys at the conference, because all those guys, just like us sometimes, think that when the time is right, I'll get it right every time. So they're not prepared. Nate wasn't there to find a business partner, but that day he did because he understood one very important thing, is that the right time is every time until you get it right. Cool. So you got the right time. What about the second thing? The right people. How did he know that I would be the right partner to work with and vice versa? Well, like I said, I wasn't the only person that Nate spoke to about this. He spoke to different developers, sales guys, investors. And when he spoke to developers as business partners, he realized he didn't just want somebody that wanted to build the app. When he spoke to sales guys, he didn't just want somebody that was going to sell the solution. And when he spoke to investors, he didn't just want somebody that was going to put in the money, step back, and watch him do all the work. Nate was looking for a strategic partner. One thing he didn't do in that was that he didn't compromise. He didn't go for a subpar solution. He was looking for the right person. And by not compromising, he did something very important. He said no to the people that were wrong. Because he also understood another thing, is that when you don't compromise, when you say no to all the people that are wrong, the right people will find you. And that's how you get the right people. Cool. You got the right time. You got the right people. But what about the most important thing? The right execution. How did Nate get it right? How do you get it right? Let me tell you something. There are two ways to look at any problem. The first way is, can it be solved? And the answer is very simple: yes or no. You see, when I told you about finding the right people, I said you have to say no to all the ones that are wrong. But in order for you to find the right execution, you have to remove the no. Because when you ask, can it be solved? You are willing to accept no as an answer. But by adding one word to that question, you can change the entire outcome. And that word is how. How can it be solved? Because can it be solved? No, 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 no. I guess not. How can it be solved? Not this way, not this way, not this way, not this way. I still don't have my answer yet because that's not how. This way. And this way, you just removed the no. You got the right execution. We all know the story of Airbnb. When they first started out, nobody was renting any Airbnbs. So they hired a professional photographer. They took proper pictures. And then they went to areas where conferences had all the hotels booked out. People had no other choice but to look for alternatives. And all of a sudden, Airbnbs started getting booked and they turned into a $90 billion whisper. They didn't change their idea. They changed their execution. They didn't ask, are people going to rent or no? They said, how can we get people to rent? And they won. Nate did the same thing. And he won in his own way. You see, Nate changed a vertical. Airbnb changed an industry, but you can change the world. Because you get to control your outcome. You get to decide the size of your impact. So yeah, go ahead. Keep trying until you get the right time. Keep talking until you get the right people, and keep perfecting until you get the right execution. And take that little idea in your head, grab that little whisper, and go turn it into an echo. Thank you.